Now, when it comes to President Trump, he has the best of everything. Um, the best hearing, for example, the greatest hearing. And yet, for some reason, he doesn't. He seems to have a little bit of trouble eavesdropping on other people's conversations, despite trying to. So now, why is this important? Well, for one, the testimony of David Holmes on Thursday involved Holmes overhearing a phone call between Donald Trump and Gordon Sondland. So that's really interesting, right? Now, Holmes described in his testimony the call in which the two officials, Sondland and Trump, allegedly discussed an extortion scheme against Ukraine. That's interesting. Now, this kind of piggybacks testimony from William Taylor, the acting Ukraine ambassador, who revealed the call last week. So Holmes testified during his deposition that Sondland was talking to Trump over the phone, and that Sondland, and this is important because this is a reason why Holmes could hear what was going on. Sondland was holding the phone away from his ear while Donald Trump was loudly discussing the investigation of Joe Biden that he wanted the President Zelensky of Ukraine to publicly announce. Usually, when you hold the phone away from your ear, it signifies that the person on the other end is way too loud for you. Kind of explains why somebody could overhear that conversation. Not very smart. But there's a couple of things here, and it's very substantive. For one, Trump didn't actually want an actual investigation. So a lot of the focus here on the quid pro quo extortion thing is that Trump wanted the investigation. We found out actually from some of the testimony from Gordon Sondland that Trump didn't really want an investigation. He just wanted the announcement. Now, of course, that tells me, well, now wait a minute. I thought you were interested in combating corruption in Ukraine. And that's one of the reasons he says, I want nothing. I want nothing. No quid pro quo. I just want, and this is in his funny handwritten notes, I just want Ukraine to do the right thing and to go after corruption. But wait, if you didn't actually want that investigation to begin with and just wanted a public announcement of an investigation, well, then you're not going after corruption at all. Even the supposed corruption that you're going after, what you want is a public announcement that you can point at and say, oh, look, now we have an investigation into Joe Biden. Look, you've got a guy under investigation. You got to vote for him. I mean, I'm under investigation too, but that's a phony witch hunt. But that Biden stuff, that's the real corruption. By the way, CrowdStrike as well. The Ukrainians have the server. And Ukraine meddled in the election, not the Russians. Got you. Now elect me again. That's what this is. And Trump, by the way, he nearly got that announcement from the Ukrainians. The only thing that stopped it was the whistleblower, was Congress finding out, both sides getting extremely angry that you're jeopardizing what's going on in Ukraine, the relationship with Ukraine, and then saying, why have you undermined us since we passed that Ukrainian aid? Why are you holding it up? If you're holding it up for political purposes, that's not going to fly with us. And so, of course, they eventually released that aid. And so that's why, by the way, the Trump administration says, well, look, they got the aid anyway. So what does it matter? No quid pro quo, no extortion, no collusion, no obstruction. Oh, wait, no, that's something different. But it's the same thing, right? Insanity. So, and by the way, their focus on the whistleblower. This is why, right? Because the whistleblower, again, basically got this secondhand information, reported on it, went up through the chain, and then started this whole process. And then you have people that actually went on the record. Now, the whistleblower doesn't really even matter anymore, especially the identity of the whistleblower, because you have all these people that basically have corroborated that report, that complaint, the whistleblower complaint, and not only that, but corroborate each other's reports and testimony. And so at this point, the whistleblower's moot. But Donald Trump, he's got to go after somebody. He's got to attack somebody. He's got to attack something. So whistleblower. Where's the whistleblower? We need to know. I have the right to face my accuser. That's only if it's in a criminal trial. By the way, this is not criminal. This is a political trial. And that's what impeachment is. Impeachment and removal. Okay, anyway. So, now, this is all leading up to this, again, strange admission, right? Following Holmes' testimony, Trump said this on Twitter. Quote, I have been watching people making phone calls my entire life. My hearing is, and has been, great. Never have I been watching a person making a call which was not on speakerphone and been able to hear or understand a conversation. I even tried, to no avail. Try it live. Yes, go ahead and try it live. Try it live, do it live. So wait, you're telling people, hey, you know what you should do? You should try to eavesdrop on other people's phone calls and see if you can hear it. What? Okay. Oh, that's a little bit odd, but what's even more interesting about this is he says, look, I've been trying my whole life to eavesdrop on people's phone calls. Dude, you know, you just admit that you try to drop in on people's phone calls to learn information. And that the funny part is that you suck at it. Because apparently you don't have the best hearing. Now, look, I don't have the best hearing in the world. I know that. Even I can hear certain phone calls, not on speakerphone. It, of course, depends on the proximity of the caller. And, of course, the volume. Volume seems to be very important. And here's what happened, right? Now, Holmes says, look, I saw Sondland. Sondland had this phone away from his ear, meaning that Donald Trump was so goddamn loud that everybody could hear him. Sondland could not keep that phone to his ear. Anybody who knows Trump knows he is not a quiet guy. Not a quiet guy at all. Maybe it has something to do with him, ironically, not having the greatest hearing. Usually the people that are the loudest are the ones that can't really hear very well themselves. And so, I'm just saying. But no. This Donald Trump, he has the best hearing out of anyone. And obviously, if he can't hear well, then obviously no one else can. Because he's literally the epitome of human development on Earth. That's what he believes. Give me a break. And again, I know this all sounds and starts out to be super clownish, right? But then you start to think about it. And you start to realize that most of his bragging and embellishments is not really that. He actually believes some of this stuff. He's not joking. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a patreon.com/TYTNation set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.